The first thing Ethan noticed that afternoon was the sound, a high, keening wail carried on the desert wind. It wasn't the cry of any animal he knew. It was sharper, desperate, almost human. He pulled his jeep over by a cluster of red boulders, the heat shimmering off the cracked earth. The Nevada sun had no mercy here. The land itself seemed to sizzle. Ethan turned off the engine, grabbed his canteen, and started toward the sound. "Hello," he called, shading his eyes. "Anyone out here?" A smaller voice answered him this time, trembling but clear. "Mister, please. My mommy, she's hurt." Ethan froze. "Child, out here." He rounded a jagged rock formation and stopped dead. A little girl stood there, though girl wasn't quite right. Her skin shimmered faintly in shades of pale silver and lavender, and her wide, luminous eyes reflected the sunlight like a cat's. She couldn't have been more than 7 or 8, wearing torn metallic fabric that clung to her small frame. And behind her, a woman lay sprawled across a flat sun-baked stone, her wrists and ankles bound tightly by woven cords that looked like plant fibers. Her skin had the same alien sheen, though hers was darker, marked with faint bioluminescent veins. The cords bit cruelly into her flesh, and her breathing was shallow. "Mommy!" the girl cried, tugging at Ethan's sleeve. "They left her here to die." Ethan's instincts overrode his shock. He dropped to his knees beside the woman, touching her forehead. It was burning. "Who did this?" The girl's voice cracked. "The men from the skyship. They said she broke the law." "Law?" Ethan muttered. He glanced up at the horizon, but the sky was empty. No ships, no footprints, just wind and endless dust. He tried the knots. The material was strong, almost like dried sinew, but with a quick pull from his utility knife, the first rope snapped. The woman moaned faintly, her eyelids fluttering. "She needs water," Ethan said, pulling the cap from his canteen. He lifted her head carefully and poured a little past her lips. The girl knelt beside them, clutching her mother's hand, whispering something in a language Ethan didn't understand. When the last rope came free, the woman stirred, her voice hoarse. "You are human." Ethan nodded. "Name's Ethan. Don't move too fast. You've been in the sun too long." Her eyes focused on him, brilliant silver orbs with shifting rings of blue. "You should not have interfered. They will come back." "I don't care who they are," Ethan said firmly. "You'd be dead in another hour." The little girl pressed her face into her mother's shoulder, sobbing. The woman hesitated, then rested a trembling hand on her daughter's back. "You have my gratitude, Ethan of Earth." They took shelter in a shallow cave as the sun dipped lower. Ethan had wrapped the woman in his spare jacket. The girl, who finally told him her name was Lyra, sat close to the entrance, watching the sky with fearful eyes. "Are you from one of those colony ships?" Ethan asked softly. The woman shook her head. "No. My people live beneath your deserts, in the cool caverns where the sun cannot burn us. We were seen by those who should not see." "The men from the skyship," Ethan guessed. "They were human traders," she said bitterly. "They wanted the crystal we guard, one that powers our underground sanctuaries. When I refused, they said I broke their contract. My punishment was exile to the surface." Ethan frowned. "And the girl? They were going to take her." Her voice cracked. "I told her to run. She came back for me instead." Lyra turned at that, her small face streaked with tears. "I couldn't leave you, Mommy." The alien woman, Saren she said her name was, closed her eyes in pain and pride. Ethan looked between them, jaw tightening. "Well," he said, "they're not taking either of you. Not while I'm around. Night came fast in the desert. The stars glittered hard and close, their light cold against the dunes. Ethan kept the small fire low, wary of attracting attention. He could hear Lyra's soft breathing as she slept curled beside her mother. Saren sat awake, staring into the flames. "You are different from the others of your kind," she said quietly. "Guess I just don't like seeing people treated like trash," Ethan replied. Saren tilted her head, her hair catching faint light. "Among my people, a life debt is sacred. You have earned mine. And hers." Before Ethan could reply, a deep hum vibrated through the ground. He stiffened. Lights appeared on the horizon, 3 hovering crafts, their beams sweeping across the desert floor. "They found us," Saren whispered. "Then we move," Ethan said, grabbing his pack. He helped Saren to her feet, lifted Lyra into his arms, and sprinted toward his jeep. The lights grew brighter, following. One of the ships fired a pulse. Sand exploded nearby. Lyra screamed. Ethan gunned the engine, the jeep roaring across the dunes. "Hold on," he shouted. Saren raised one trembling hand toward the nearest ship. For an instant, her veins flared with light, then a shockwave burst from her palm, shattering the craft's beam and sending it spiraling down in smoke. Ethan glanced at her in awe. "Remind me never to make you mad." Saren smiled faintly, then slumped back exhausted. By dawn they'd reached the canyon's edge, where a rift opened deep into the earth. "This leads to your home?" Ethan asked. Saren nodded weakly. "The path of the ancients." He helped her down, carrying Lyra beside her. The air below was cool, glowing faintly with blue bioluminescent moss. The hum of hidden life surrounded them, pulsing, alive. At the threshold, Saren turned back. "Ethan, if you ever find yourself in darkness, speak my name. My people will know it." He gave her a small, tired smile. "Just promise me you'll keep her safe." Saren's eyes shone. "Because of you, she will live." Then she and Lyra descended into the light below, vanishing into the caverns. Ethan stood there a moment longer, the desert wind tugging at his hair. The sun rose once more, hot, relentless, and blinding. But somewhere beneath his feet, in the hidden world of the alien and the forgotten, a mother and daughter were free. And that, he decided, was worth every risk. Ethan carried Lyra down the rocky slope, one arm around Saren's trembling shoulders. The entrance to the canyon glowed faintly, an opening into a world beneath the desert. Cool air drifted upward, humming softly like distant song. "This leads to your home?" he asked. Saren nodded weakly. "Yes, my people dwell below. They will not harm you. You saved one of us." He smiled faintly. "Don't think I'm cut out for your underground life." Saren hesitated, her silver eyes glimmering. "Then take this." She pressed a small crystal into his palm. It pulsed faintly with light, warm against his skin. "If you ever call my name while holding it, I will hear." Ethan looked down at the glowing stone, then back at her. "Saren, I don't think I'll forget you. Or her." Lyra, still clutching his sleeve, whispered, "Will we see you again, Mr. Ethan?" He crouched to her level, brushing a strand of pale hair from her face. "Maybe. The world's big, kiddo, but I'll be looking up at the stars, thinking of you both." The little girl smiled, a bright, otherworldly smile, and hugged him tightly before running to her mother. Saren met Ethan's gaze one last time. "Because of you, she will live. You changed her fate, and mine." "Guess we changed each other's," he said softly. Then, with a shimmer of light, mother and daughter descended into the glowing cavern, vanishing into the earth's quiet heart.